Hey there and welcome to Scandal Steep. They work to create opportunities, to provide for themselves, and to help each other thrive. This was a shared journey, a collective effort to accomplish goals and lift one another up. Yet, I often wonder if it might have been a burden too heavy to carry, like reopening an old wound that starts bleeding as soon as you touch it. Eddie Levert, the legendary frontman of the OJs, has lived a life marked by both extraordinary success and heartbreaking tragedy. Beneath the soulful melodies lies a story filled with grief, secrets, and untold truths. Eddie's motivation wasn't solely about personal gain, it was about elevating his family, giving them the stability to thrive, to eat, and to accomplish their dreams. The challenges he faced, including the shocking disappearance of a bandmate whose remains were found in a trash bag decades later, continue to haunt him. The pain of losing his sons Gerald and Sean, both of whom died tragically just years apart, remains just as raw as the day it happened. Time doesn't heal all wounds, some scars hurt as deeply as they did on the first day. In recent years, Eddie has spoken openly about the darker truths of the music industry, an industry that often exploits artists while keeping them in the dark. His story is a testament to resilience, a man who channeled his despair into music that stands the test of time. From the mystery surrounding the death of his bandmate, Frankie Little Jr. to personal losses that tested his soul, this is the untold journey of Eddie Levert and the OJs. The story begins in Canton, Ohio, in the late 1950s. Eddie and his high school friends Walter Williams, William Powell, Bobby Massey, and Bill Iles found solace in music while growing up in a racially divided world. Initially, they called themselves the Triumphs, later the Mascots, before settling on the OJs, in honor of a DJ named Eddie OJ who believed in their talent and guided their early steps. Their rise to fame seemed like a dream come true from the outside, but behind the scenes, it was far from glamorous. In the early days, money was scarce, often painfully so. Eddie recalls that his drive wasn't just for personal success but to uplift his family. Despite their immense talent, the OJs faced numerous challenges breaking into an industry that didn't always treat black artists fairly. Unscrupulous managers and record labels often tricked them into signing bad deals, leaving the group with little to show for their efforts while others profited off their music. One of the darkest chapters in the OJ's history unfolded in the 1970s when their guitarist, Frankie Little Jr. vanished without a trace. Frankie wasn't just a bandmate, he was a friend, a brother, and a vital part of their musical journey. Although his time with the OJs was brief, his contributions helped shape their early sound. For decades, Frankie's disappearance was an unresolved mystery, a haunting shadow over the band's legacy. The unanswered questions lingered: where had he gone? What had happened to him? Why did no one seem to know anything? Frankie's name became a whispered footnote in the band's history, an unresolved loss overshadowed by their success. In 1982, a grim discovery was made in Twinsburg, Ohio. Workers at a machine shop stumbled upon what they initially thought was an animal skull in a wooded area behind the building. Upon closer examination, they realized it was a human skull. Police were called, and further searches revealed a plastic trash bag containing additional human remains. The incomplete skeleton provided few clues, and the case went cold for decades. In 2009, advances in forensic science reignited the investigation, but it wasn't until 2019 that a breakthrough occurred. Using genetic genealogy, detectives identified the remains as those of Frankie Little Jr. The revelation shocked those who knew him, including Eddie Levert. Frankie's tragic end reopened old wounds, forcing Eddie to confront the loss of someone who had been part of his journey. Frankie's death was ruled a homicide, but the circumstances remain unclear. His family expressed relief at finally having closure after decades of uncertainty. Despite the struggles and losses, the OJs persevered. Their path to fame was anything but smooth. The group's early years were marked by relentless hustle, singing covers at local venues. While the OJs continued to thrive, Eddie Levert faced unimaginable personal tragedies. Born on June 16, 1942, in Bessemer, Alabama, Eddie's journey began in the heart of the South. At 6 years old, his family moved to Canton, Ohio, where his love for music blossomed. Eddie's talent was evident from a young age, and he pursued his dreams with determination. In 1984, Eddie experienced a proud moment when his sons, Gerald and Sean, decided to follow in his footsteps. They formed the group Levert with their friend Mark Gordon. Levert achieved remarkable success, with several platinum albums and chart-topping hits. Eddie and Gerald collaborated on multiple projects, including the 1992 duet Baby Hold On To Me, which became a #1 R&B hit. Tragically, in 2006, Eddie's son Gerald passed away at the age of 40 due to an accidental overdose of prescription drugs. Just 2 years later, Eddie's other son, Sean, died in custody after being jailed for unpaid child support. Sean's death was attributed to a medical emergency, raising questions about the care he received while incarcerated. Eddie openly shared his grief, describing the unbearable pain of outliving his children. He urged others to cherish their loved ones, emphasizing the importance of spending time with family. Eddie's heartbreak didn't end there. In recent years, he suffered another devastating loss when his youngest daughter, Ryan, passed away at the age of 22 after battling lupus. Despite these tragedies, Eddie has continued to find strength in his music and his fans. Eddie Levert's life is a testament to the power of resilience. Through the highs and lows, he has remained dedicated to his craft, using music as both a refuge and a way to honor the memories of those he's lost. The OJ's legacy is one of timeless classics and enduring impact. Over their illustrious career, they achieved numerous milestones, including 10 gold albums, 9 platinum albums, and 10 #1 hits. Eddie's contributions to music have earned him countless accolades. In 1998, the OJs received the Rhythm and Blues Foundation's Pioneer Award, presented by Gerald in a touching moment that celebrated their shared legacy. The group was also honored with Bet's Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009 and the Trumpet Lifetime Achievement Award in 2011. Now in his 80s, Eddie Levert continues to perform, keeping the OJ's music alive for new generations. His story is one of perseverance, showing that even in the face of unimaginable loss, the human spirit can endure. Eddie's journey reminds us of the strength found in music, family, and determination, a legacy that will inspire for years to come. And seizing every opportunity. By the mid-1960s, they had signed with King Records and released singles like Lonely Drifter. While these songs showcased their raw talent, they failed to achieve significant commercial success. Frustration grew, and the group began to splinter. Bobby Massey and Bill Iles eventually left, leaving Eddie, Walter, and William Powell to carry on as a trio. The late 1960s brought new challenges, but everything changed in 1972 when the OJs moved to Philadelphia and teamed up with Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, pioneers of the Philadelphia soul sound. Their first collaboration, Backstabbers, was a resounding success, propelling them into the spotlight. The album featured timeless hits like Love Train, which became an anthem of unity and hope during turbulent times. The cost of success, however, was steep. Fame brought adoration but also immense pressure. Internal conflicts and personal sacrifices tested the group's bond. In the mid-1970s, tragedy struck when William Powell was diagnosed with colon cancer. Despite his illness, Powell continued to perform when he could, but by 1976, his health had deteriorated to the point where he had to leave the group. Powell passed away in 1977 at just 35 years old, leaving a void that was deeply felt by his bandmates and fans alike.